this new day in Northwest. Now, here's Margaret Larson.
Good morning, everybody. The tastes and sounds of New Orleans are headed to Seattle this week. I could not be happier about that. The Food and Funk Festival brings together food and music from the Big Easy and puts it all in one convenient location. Here to give us a delicious preview is Chef Matt Lewis. Welcome back. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Great seeing you. Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit. We have some pictures from, previous festivals. Tell us a little bit about what happens, why this is so special.
This is so special because it's combining the culture of New Orleans, so the music with the food, with the people, and it's just what we would do down there. I mean, we have the French Quarter Festival, the Jazz and Heritage Festival, and that's just kind of like a little mini version of this plopped down in the middle of Seattle.
Which is just so much fun. The food, obviously, is something everybody associates with New Orleans, just like the music. Tell us about some of the different sorts of dishes that we've heard of and maybe some we haven't.
Sure. Yeah, New Orleans has such a broad reach. There's a lot of influence that's already here. So we're going to have some of our local guys like us, of course, where you at, Matt, in Restaurant Roux. We're going to be doing our po' boys. We're going to be doing gumbo. We're going to be doing shrimp and grits, beignets, of course.
Of course.
And then
he points at me because he knows.
I know that's one of your favorites.
I do.
And
love
then
it.
we're also going to do something that people go crazy for because they don't get it a lot, and that's alligator.
That's what we're making
And
today.
we're going to make that today.
So this is not man eaten by alligator. This is alligator eaten by man we're doing
That
today.
is correct. And
Excellent.
September is the month that they hunt alligator, so it's the perfect month to
Gosh, I can't think of anything
that
that would frighten me more. So have you ever had an alligator brought to you for the dissection?
I have in New Orleans. When I was fishing, we would always trade around down in the bayous and try and, the prize piece of the alligator is the big tail. And so we would get that and we would be able to eat that.
Good Lord.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's a lot better than what people give it credit for sure.
Well, let's find out. Let's
Right
see
on.
what this looks
so,
like.
Yeah, I'm going to put on a glove really quick and I'll show you. So what I said before, the tail is the prize part of the alligator. And depending on the size, depends on that size
like
of the
a
tail.
lobster tail kind of thing?
It is, except it's more like the tenderloin, right? Because it has, think of the tail, it's super strong, powerful, and it has two large muscle groups that come down the middle up on either side.
This is giving me anxiety just to
But don't
discuss
worry. I took care of the alligator in the back already and just took you a couple of chunks, so he's good. He's good. So this is kind of what the alligator meat looks like.
It's almost like tuna or something.
It is. It's pretty much like tuna. The biggest thing with this is it has a lot of connective tissue in it, right? Like all the muscle, and they're strong. So basically what we do is we basically shave it down.
Has anybody in here had alligator before? Yeah. 2 people have had it. 3 people. Okay.
There we go. So we shave it down like that. So you want little pieces, and you just keep working it.
This is almost like sushi.
Yeah, that's correct. And then what we like to do is dredge it or soak it in buttermilk up to like 30 minutes to an hour, and that helps to break down some of that connective tissue in there. And you can see in this part here, that's the part you want to avoid. That was what makes it chewy. So you'll see today that if you slice it down nice and thin like that, you don't have to worry about the chewiness.
It'll be just nice and soft.
Correct. And then
you don't want a tough alligator.
You don't want a tough alligator. Only when they're alive. That's when they're tough, right? When they're eating them nice and tender. So then we soaked it in a little buttermilk. I like to add a little hot sauce. It's one of our little secrets there. It helps to break it down. And then once you have it there, you go into your favorite fried flour dredge is what we call this.
I hope this has some cornmeal in it.
There is some cornmeal.
Thank
a couple
you.
of little secret ingredients, but cornmeal is what makes it. It gives you the texture, and I think that's the key to a good fried flour is having the right texture between cornmeal and flour, right? So you don't want all of the grit, but you want some of the grit to add to it.
You want some of it. And so what do you eat with alligator? Is it a hush puppy kind of thing, cornbread? What
a lot of different things. The more popular it gets, actually, the more you see some variation. So we've done it actually where we've grilled it, where we soak it in like lime juice and a little white wine, and then you dry it out and you can grill it in the little different sauces. On the fried, it lends itself to many things. Like you can toss it in your favorite buffalo sauce and make buffalo alligator, right? So it's nice and spicy. I like to do it, and we'll do it on Friday. We will have like a remoulade sauce, so like say tartar sauce that we fry it with.
I love that.
So there's a lot of different things you can do with it. I mean, the sky's the limit. The hardest part is just to get people over their phobia and their fear and actually try it, which we're going to do today.
Just make it clear there's not an actual alligator there. It's just food.
That's correct. It's just the meat now.
Just the food.
So right into the fryer. You want to see that bubble.
Look at that.
Just like that.
What kind of oil?
This is just the basic canola oil.
Okay, because it can take that high heat.
It takes the high heat. We're about 350 degrees right here. I'm going to deglove so I can get there. It doesn't take long at all because you've sliced it so thin, right? So you don't want to overcook it. You can see that there. But the cool part about New Orleans Food and Funk is Vulcan is actually going to bring up Giacomo, which is one of the classic New Orleans restaurateurs down
I ate there
there.
last time I was there.
So he's going to come up there. He's supposed to be doing his jambalaya, some black and red fish, cornmeal.
And if you haven't tried these things, please go and try a little bit of everything because it's just the best food in the world.
Yeah, but we're going to have like Toulouse Petit will be there. Even Fair Start is going to be there.
Wow,
Chef Wayne is going to bring a crew over there. They're going to be doing crawfish pies.
Some etouffee someplace?
Some etouffee. Somebody's doing that. There's a lot of good things. There's gumbo, jambalaya.
My husband and I are going to weigh 300 pounds by the end of the weekend.
There we go.
Looks so good.
So
It's
nice
as simple
golden
as
brown.
that.
It's just like doing a fish fry, except we're using alligator.
They're alligator nuggets. Looks delish.
So there we go there. And once they're out, you can put a little touch of salt on there or not. It depends on how seasoned it is. We have some here that are a little cooled down if you want to try one. Yes, ma'am.
And so just a quick question while I'm tasting this. Where do I get alligator if I want to make it at home?
Up here, it's a little more difficult. You don't see it everywhere. Texture, flavor, it's right in there. But you can find it at a lot of your Asian markets. So there's a place that I like to go to called Lamb Seafood on King Street, and they have it, and we get it there if we don't bring it up from New Orleans. But when we do big batch like this, like we're going to bring up a couple 100 pounds, we're going to bring that up from New Orleans.
Oh
So I'm going to the airport tomorrow to pick them up.
Oh, Lord. Yes, I hate that when you have to go to the airport for alligator.
Right.
All right, so let's talk about some of these things that you have prepared over here. That tasted good, by the way. I was expecting it to have a stronger flavor, but that's nice
Pretty
and
mild. It's pretty mild.
That would lend itself to some fun sauces.
That's correct. So we
What do
have our
here?
jambalaya here. So we have our house-cured andouille sausage in here, chicken.
Is it okay if
Scotch
I
shrimp.
bite?
It is. It is. I'll have to, it is probably not up to the temperature you like,
That's
but
okay.
go ahead and try that andouille sausage.
I like this even
it's
at room
delicious.
temperature.
All right. Then the next one we have there, I'll give you a moment. I know you need. There you go. There you go.
I need just a moment to appreciate
just take it all in. Take
the
it all
heaven
in.
that's going on in my mouth.
That's right. The next one here is gumbo, and it's a traditional andouille sausage and chicken gumbo there. There's always debates around gumbo and whose grandma or whose aunt cooks the best one. And if you're from New Orleans, you realize that every gumbo is going to be different. Every gumbo is usually delicious, and you choose your favorite and you go with it. And this is our version of it here. Passed down aunts, mom, grandma's recipe.
I'm going to have to taste that too. But
Same
I
thing
took
on
a
that
different
one.
utensil so somebody else can still have a bite. I didn't double dip.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
And then the piece de resistance, the one that is one of my favorite, is the shrimp and grits. Yeah, and this is...
And people have to try that. Explain what a grit is for people who don't know.
The easiest way to explain it would be, it's basically polenta, but a coarser grind. It's all a corn product that's been milled down in one fashion or another. It's either steel, stone, sometimes wood, and then we cook it. It's our polenta, southern polenta, basically.
And it's meant to be a vehicle for sauce.
That is correct, as you see there.
Which begins with a Roux, which is the name of your
name
place.
of the restaurant, that's correct, in Fremont.
Tell us why the whole idea of New Orleans cooking, everything starts with a Roux.
That's correct.
Right?
Well, I wouldn't say everything. I mean, our eggs are usually just butter.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it is. And it's the foundation, and it's the foundation of, many of the mother sauces that are the foundation of other cooking. So to make a good roux, if you have a bad roux, you're going to have bad food, right? A great roux is going to make your food even that much better. And it's basically time, patience, and stirring.
A little experience
that's it,
in stirring.
They say you take the
Exactly.
phone off the hook. That's back in the day. I'm dating myself there, right? You turn your
phones had a hook.
ringer off, flip it upside down, and you just start
Do your
stirring
thing.
and don't stop until you get the color you want.
Now, do you have a favorite?
I'd say it depends on the weather. Cold weather, I'm a gumbo fan. I love that. It just kind of warms your insides. But I'd say probably my go-to is jambalaya. It's when I go to the restaurant or the truck, it's what I crave,
what
and
you want.
it's what I want. And it's usually my grab-and-go food because we're always on the run, and I have it in a container eating in my car. So
Why not? Matt,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you so
This is
much.
wonderful food, and it was
Thank you.
great to see
Thank
you.
you.
The New Orleans Food and Funk Festival is Friday, September 29th at the WAMU Theater at CenturyLink. We'll have all the details available on our website. Do not miss it. And a bonus for today's audience, you're all going home with a pair of tickets to see the show. So that's pretty good to go to the event, see the music, eat the food. Up next, more on a levy that could increase services for veterans and seniors in Seattle. We'll be right back.
This New Day cooking segment brought to you by Ferguson Bath Kitchen and Lighting Gallery, powered by Electrolux.
What's up, guys?